In my experience, there's two camps when it comes to strength training for runners. There's those like me who absolutely love strength training and actually wish they could do more of it. And there's those people who hate strength training and don't see why they need to do it as a runner. They dread it, they put it off. So you might fall into either of those camps, but I want to encourage you and give you some tips right now to first encourage you to do it and give you some tips on how you can incorporate strength training into your running and even when you want to incorporate strength training into your running. So this can change from season to season. This can change from is going to change from day to day as well. So I'm going to walk you through all of that. So I'm Nicole Dobransky. I am a BODi partner and I have been specializing in helping runners incorporate strength and nutrition into their training so that they can reach their potential, lose weight, get stronger. And I've been doing this for 7 years. I personally have been doing our strength programs from BODi since 2011 when I did a 90-day program. Right before I did the program, I ran a half marathon PR. I broke 2 hours and ran 1:59. After 90 days of following our strength training program, along with running 3 days a week, only 3 days a week, and also following our nutrition plan, I lost 11 pounds, which definitely helped, but I got so strong. And after those 90 days, it was like actually a week before I finished the program, I ran a 5.5 minute half marathon PR on a crazy hilly course that I felt every ounce of that strength. Ever since then, I've continued to incorporate strength training, probably more than the average runner, into my training. I have not been injured in these years. I had a twin pregnancy and I carried my babies till 39 weeks. And I truly believe that a big reason why I was able to not be so crazy uncomfortable with literally 14 pounds of babies inside of me was because of the strength training. So it extends beyond just running performance, but I'm a big believer in strength training and I absolutely love it. So I want to just say, first of all, the amount of strength training that you incorporate into your running is going to partially be personal preference. So if you're the type of person who you really dread strength training, you might only incorporate it 2 times a week, and that's okay. But at least if you're doing that, then that's better than nothing. If you're someone like me who loves to do like BODi programs, or maybe you do Peloton, or you like to go to classes, and you're like, man, I love doing that, I almost want to, like, how do I do it all? Then I'm going to help you kind of work through how you can have a balance between kind of taking what I call like an off-season strength time, which I'm coming up on because I just did a half marathon this past weekend. So now I'm going to refocus on strength for a little bit while still running. And then you can also do less strength training during your peak training. So you can do both, best of both worlds, right? So my top tips for incorporating strength training and running, whether it is a BODi program, which is I love because they're all set up for you. So when you do a BODi program, you get a workout calendar and it tells you which workouts to do. And Jen and I create special calendars that include your runs mixed in with it too. I like that because my type A brain loves to have a calendar and to check it off. I don't do well with just doing random workouts or random classes because it's really easy to skip it. So if I'm not on a program, I am way less likely to actually do my workout. So I really like to be on a BODi program that has a calendar. I know I need to do upper body, a strength, a total body this week. And then if I get behind, I don't like that. So it really motivates me to do it. So number 1 is easy days easy, hard days hard. And you've probably heard this in the running community in general, in terms of like, I'm sure Jen talked about it in her foundations video, you do those hard speed workouts you want to have the energy to do those really hard. And then you want your next day to be a recovery or an easy day. So if you are strength training, one of the mistakes that I made early on was I would do my hard speed workout and be like, okay, well, I don't want to do legs the same day. So I'll do my leg day the next day, and then I would go do another hard workout, and then my legs would really never get a chance to recover. So one trick is I like to actually keep, if you're going to do, say, for example, 1 speed workout a week, I would want your leg day to be either 2 days later or 2 days before that speed workout to give yourself time to recover, or the same day, which I know can be counterintuitive, but if you do it on the same day, for example, if you do strength training and a run on the same day, if the run is a key workout, meaning a speed workout, a tempo, or anything besides a super easy run, then you want to make sure you do your run first. So the run is always the priority, and you want to make sure you're getting the most out of that. Then if you're gonna do leg day, for example, on the same day, or maybe you're just gonna do a full body workout on the same day as one of those key workouts, you wanna make sure you do it after, whether it's immediately after and you're like refueling with like a banana or some kind of nutrition, carb heavy nutrition between, or you want to do that later in the day. If you don't have time for 2 workouts a day, that is okay too. So we create schedules I'm going to share today in the group that have 1 workout a day, so you really know how to balance the strength and the running. Your strength training should and can change based on the season of training you're in. So this doesn't apply if you aren't someone who does races, but in this group, we're all trying to run faster. So I would assume that you want to run faster and you do races. So for example, if you are training for a half marathon and your half marathon is in October of this year, so you have that coming up. Now would be, so we're coming into June, that would be a great time to focus more on strength training. So you could do a BODi program, for example, that has up to 4 strength training workouts a week, or maybe it's 4 strength and a cardio even, because the cardio workouts are generally full body conditioning. So there is a strength component. That would be a good time to do like a program start to finish, and incorporating your running as almost like the secondary goal. And that can give you a mental break as well. So it can give you a mental break from the training. If you are someone who does a fall and a spring race every year, like the summer and the winter are great times to take the mind off the training, just focus on getting in mileage while you're focusing on that strength training program. It's also great timing for weather because it's really hot, it starts to get warmer, or it's really cold in the winter, or you're really busy, right? So that's kind of how I like to set up my year, is I'm doing those strength training focus at the beginning of the year and in the summer, and then I'm in peak training during the spring and the fall. So in the base building portion of my running, so this is after kind of the off season, I'm going to continue to strength train, but I might choose workouts that are a little bit more challenging during this time as I'm just building my mileage, and I'm probably going to do 1 fewer. So I might just do like 3 strength training workouts a week during that base building. As I get closer and closer to race day, I am now going to be, even my mileage is going to increase. So maybe even if my running, like I'm only running 4 days a week still, or I'm running 5 days a week, I'm running the same amount of times a week, those workouts are harder. So I'm putting more overall stress on my body. So depending on your goals and your fitness level, you could want to consider maybe scaling back to just 2 strength training sessions a week just to maintain during that time. And you might want to choose a workout program or workouts that are a little bit less intense, that are more of kind of like a maintenance mode during that final peak training. And obviously when you're in peak training, your runs are going to be the most important thing. And that's one thing I want to mention about, I shared a post earlier about the benefits of strength training, but one of the biggest benefits of strength training is the injury prevention. And it's not because actually strength training itself will make you a faster runner to an extent, but nothing will make you a faster runner more than running, and more than running specific workouts that are tailored to your goal for the race. So the key though is when we are doing high intensity speed workouts and we're doing really long runs, that is breaking down the body. And when you have a strength foundation, when you are very strong, you are less likely to get injured because your glutes are, if you have a glute imbalance, it can lead to knee problems. Like all of those things can be mitigated or at least controlled by having a strong strength foundation. So the less that you're getting injured, the more consistent you can be in actually getting your workouts in, getting your training done. And the more consistent you are with over a long period of time, the faster you're gonna run. So I really wanna encourage you, and where you'll hear us say it is like, we're playing the long game here. We're not you might have these amazing things like my story I shared at the beginning where I took 5 minutes off my half marathon PR after 90 days of strength training. That is an amazing example, but you have to understand that those kind of things, those stories and you hear these things on social media about like, oh, she took off an hour off her marathon time. Those are from people who you're in the beginning of when you first start running, you're more likely to have kind of those quicker wins, or when you first incorporate something, you're going to see the benefits of it go faster. But in the long run, you need to be doing the speed workout, you need to be working on your form, and you need to be strength training to consistently make returns over time. So if you kind of feel like you have been a little bit in a training slump, or you haven't been able to break that next plateau, by working on speed, form, and or strength training, you could potentially break that plateau. But at the same time, you might, even if you're doing everything right, I want to just encourage you that sometimes it's just about keep going. So how can you make this journey better? How can you troubleshoot and figure out what is the best way for you to just be more consistent and to keep going? And that's what the beauty of running is, right? Is just making it fun and learning what is your potential. And I love, that's one of the things that I just love to discover about myself and about the women that I help, is how can we make this as fun as possible while we are getting faster and stronger. So I want to, on that note, I'm going to sign off, but I just want to encourage you that strength training is still worth it. And just know that when you first start something new, so say you start you try the sample workouts that I sent you, especially the last one I shared, you will be sore. And I want to encourage you that don't let the soreness hold you back from training, because first of all, if you are doing a hard workout when you're sore, it's going to help build your mental toughness for race day, because your legs are gonna be sore during that race. So don't avoid strength training because you're worried about being sore. And also know that with time, you will be less sore. You're not gonna be sore forever. So don't let that stop you from starting. And thanks so much. We're so excited that you are here. And please feel free to reach out to me or Jen, ask questions in the group, and continue to look for some great resources. And we'll talk to you soon.